Hey guys, what's good? Hope everybody's doing well. Let me start off by apologizing for the delay between videos. Life gets in the way. I apologize, but I've got something really special for y'all. And as you can see, it's a Sinn, and this is the Sinn 856. Really excited to have this watch. I've had it for a little while now. I'm very much enjoying it. And I wanted to show it to y'all. And I've got something else, a special guest, a polishing cloth, so I can keep the crystal clean. See, I listen to the critiques and the criticism. So please check out my Sinn 556 reviews if you don't know what I'm talking about. But check this out, man. This is a Sinn 856, and it kind of is an interesting watch in Sinn's lineup. Okay, the 556 is the entry-level watch that comes in a variety of different dials. You have the index dial or the Arabic dial, a lot of different dial colors too. Very nice watch, iconic, 38.5 millimeters. This is the 856 though, and so if there is a step after the entry level, this may well be it, because this watch is kind of like a mid-range Sinn watch, but it has a lot of the technology that Sinn is kind of known for. If you look, just above 6, see that right there? You can see that there's a mark there. It's in black. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Dial is very clean. It's got the Arabic classic 656 style dial. So you see the 12, 9, 3, and 6. You can see a nice date at 4. I like the way they've integrated it. And, Sinn does a great job with their dates. I love watches with dates. And this is one of those that's there when you want it and not when you don't. Solid case back for anti-magnetic properties. And so let's just look at some of the tech in this watch. And the first thing you'll notice is, look here. Here there's like a really interesting circular feature, and that's actually a dehumidification capsule. And you see how it's like light blue? Over the years, as this capsule draws moisture out of the case, it will slowly turn blue over time. And when it gets dark blue, it may be time to replace the capsule and replace the inert gas that's inside your watch that's preventing moisture buildup in it. So that's a cool technology from Sinn. A really nice little interesting thing, and a conversation piece for sure. The other thing you notice about this watch is this interesting finish on it. It's not shiny, it's not matte. It's like this very dull bead blasted finish that honestly looks like titanium. But it's not titanium, actually. It's stainless steel. And on the back you see this mark here. It's a triangle with a line and a circle. That means the watch is tegamented, and that is a ice hardening process that Sinn puts these kind of steel watches through that dramatically, supposedly, prevent scratches and wear. Look at the buckle on this watch. So you can see that it's got a few little, maybe, here, let me do that for you. So it's got a few little, I don't know, maybe some tiny marks on it, but not really. You can see that the inside here, you can see that definitely has some marks. That gets a lot of wear and tear from this, but I don't know, on the outside of the watch, the bracelet, that classically gets a lot of marks. The lugs. You can see that, I don't know, it really doesn't have a lot of scratches. And so you think to yourself, well, man, I mean, this must be a brand new watch. Of course it doesn't have any scratches. Honestly, no. This watch was bought in Korea in the early 2000s. It has probably passed through the hands of, half a dozen or more owners until it found its way to me. And you can see that, I don't know, it just looks really good. So Tegament is an expensive technology. It's not available in all Sinn watches. It's not available at all in the 556. But on this 856, which is kind of like a mid-tier watch, I don't know, you get that technology upgrade. You get the dehumidification capsule. It's really cool. The diameter of the watch is 40 millimeters. Compared to a 556, which I think is probably this watch's direct competition. That's a 38.5 millimeter watch. A couple of other differences with the 556. This one has a different movement. So even though this is a time, date, seconds movement. This is the ETA 2892 movement. Supposedly a little bit better high grade, maybe a little bit better power reserve. Let's set the time on this thing and see. Let's see how that works for it. So let me just take a look at this. Wow, look at that. Beautiful Longines Hydroconquest 41. So this is the 41. Let's see what it compares like with the 40 on the Sinn. So similar. You can see that the Sinn dial is maybe a little bit smaller. But yeah, so it looks like it is, let's see, it's about 1346. So let's kind of set the time to that. All right, so screw down crown. This is 200 meters water resistance, just like the 556 actually. So pops out easily, signed crown there. And so the winding is like super smooth on this. I mean, it is like super smooth winding. Like you like it's imperceptible compared to like a 556. You can feel a little bit of a grind. You can see that mark right there. See that mark right there on the 6, indicating the dehumidification technology. So can you hear it? Super fine winding. Let's see, what's the date? The date is the 6th, so it's 1347 on the 6th. So position 1. Let's try to get to the 6th. And to do that, so we go to the 5th. We'll advance it. Stop seconds, cool. Look how legible this dial is, man. Look how easily those hands move. I mean, they are beautiful. Ghost style hands, which means that you see the back part of the hands nearer to the post are blacked out. So it improves legibility. I mean, this watch is nothing if not highly legible. So hang on, let's see if we can get to the 6th. Easy to set the hands move very easily. And so we said it was about 13, maybe 40 something, 40, right around there. We'll just set that there. So it's really easy to set. And just the winding feel is super, super smooth. Just the fine gears of this 2892 movement. Screws down easy, no drama. You can see the crown guards there. So just a really interesting watch. You know, it looks a lot like a 556. It's fractionally larger, and it's like I said, it's got a couple of these little technology upgrades. For example, the dehumidification technology, the capsule inserted into the case, and it just looks interesting. It's so cool. And this tegament technology. Let me put this thing on the wrist, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Okay, give me a second. Okay, cool, we're back. All right, so let's check out the Sinn 856 on the wrist. Take off this Hydroconquest. Man, I love this Hydroconquest line. I think I'm gonna make another video about this 41mm Hydroconquest because as you can see, it's a different color. We'll compare these two side by side. So 41 on the Hydroconquest and 40 on the Sinn. But yeah, some new insight into this watch, and so I will dutifully wipe the Sinn, and let's try this thing on the wrist. You know, the bracelet for Sinns is okay. You know, it's not as bad as like a Grand Seiko bracelet, so don't think you're getting that kind of quality. But you know, it's functional. I would say it's highly functional, but nothing special. You know, nothing exotic, but well-made utilitarian bracelets. I think some of the newer bracelets that Sinn makes probably have a little better fit, finish, a little easier to adjust. And by that I mean, you know, so here, let me take this off. Now this is an older Sinn, like I said. And so what they've done is instead of having just like a regular like flathead screwdriver adjustment here, they have like a hex screw in there, which really helps because one notorious problem with some of these Sinn stainless steel bracelets is that in trying to adjust them, you can strip the screws because they use a lot of Loctite in there actually. There's some ways to get around that. You can like heat up the bracelet and stuff, but it's a tiny bit annoying. This one, interestingly, didn't have that problem. And I wonder, just like I said, I'm just postulating here, but maybe the fact that this is a hardened steel bracelet that prevented the screw from stripping I don't know if they tegament the screws or not, but I noticed that it was very easy to adjust this bracelet and remove the screws, something I always dread whenever I get when I get a used Sinn, but that was really easy. Here you see it on my wrist. So my wrist is 16 centimeters, 6¼ inches, and it just looks really just really proper. I mean, it's not too big, it's not too small, but it's kind of just right. You know, what is the wearing feel compared to a 5.56? This one wears flatter and it wears thinner, even though they're both about I think 11 millimeters thick. So it's not any thicker, but the fact that you have you know, another 1.5 millimeters of diameter, you kind of spread that thickness over a larger area, and it just feels like it's kind of thinner on the wrist. It's super well made. I mean, of course, like any Sinn, this thing is super well made. And, you know, what's it worth to you, though? You know, a 5.56 compared to an 8.56, this watch is about double the price. Now I'm talking about MSRP, of course. This watch is double the price. But interestingly, these 8.56s represent, I don't know, potentially a better value than a 5.56 on the secondary market. Let me explain that. Like the delta between MSRP on a 5.56 new and used is less than the delta on an 8.56 new and used. Meaning, like a used 5.56 on bracelet, you're looking at about $1,000, $1,100 on that. I mean, this watch for me was like $1,400. So the delta between the two new, certainly, I mean, this is double the price. But on the secondary market, that delta between the used models of a 5.56 and 8.56, it's much less. Now, there are many less 8.56s for sale on the secondary market at any given time. And I get that. Everybody should get that. The 5.56 is a far, far, far more popular watch. It's less expensive, and you get 100% Sinn manufacturing, Sinn style, Sinn quality for a less expensive watch at maybe a better size for a lot of people, that 38.5 millimeter size. But I mean, an 8.56 at 40 millimeters, I mean, there's some advantages there. A big advantage is dial size. So the dial is a little bit larger nominally, but I mean, on the wrist, I mean, it feels like it's a much larger dial, and certainly both watches are highly legible, but I really like this 8.56. I find it to be a nice compromise in the Sinn lineup. It's not the entry-level 5.56, which is an epic, great, terrific, 100% wonderful one-watch collection watch, don't get me wrong. It's not that. And it's not like some of these high-end $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 Sinn watches that are just like packed with technology. It's kind of in the middle. It's got a lot of the technology you get in the higher-end watches with the simplicity that you see in the lower end or the entry-level 5.56. So I think that's a nice compromise. Now, of course, the 8.56, this is just one version of it. The 8.56 also has a UTC version. So that's an interesting watch, and I actually did a review of that watch in the Schwartz or the PBD case, so please check that out. I'm a big fan of the 8.56, I'll be honest. One of my first quote-unquote good watches was a Sinn 8.56, so I always have a soft spot in my heart for them. I like it. I really like it, and you know, I'm looking forward to doing the comparative review of this 8.56 versus the 5.56 head-to-head, because I feel like that's a typical question in people's minds. Gosh, you know, is the 5.56 good enough, or should I stretch and get an 8.56? It's a valid question. You get some different things with the 8.56. The question comes, you know, are those different things worth it to you? Guys, I hope you like this review of the Sinn 8.56, a watch I like a lot, a watch that's kind of packed with technology and occupies a kind of a unique place in the Sinn lineup. It has a lot of the features of the higher end watches, but on the secondary market especially, it can be had at a comparative bargain, even compared to a 5.56. Guys, take care. I hope you're doing well. Again, apologies for not making content more frequently, but you know how it is. Life gets in the way. But I've got a few other watches that I want to make some videos about. Maybe about this 41 millimeter Longines Hydroconquest. Awesome watch, by the way. And so look, I'll be back soon, so take care. God bless. Guys, remember, treat others with love and respect. And if you can't, just please pretend. It's so important now, especially. Take care. God bless. Bye.